First, there was Reigate Lake, and then there was Fundy Fun Spot, and along came Chatrolandia, and I guess you can probably include Dismayland too. I think you've waited long enough. It's time to crack open the TMTK all over again and create another park so realistic you're gonna splooge. It's time to welcome you to Grosvenor Gardens. Roses are red, violets are blue, ranch flavoured Cheerios are a thought I want to undo. Hey everybody, how's it going? So yes, welcome to episode 1 of a brand new park build. This one has been such a long time coming. Do you remember back in the summer when we did the poll for this park? It's the adventure park that won, so we finally legitimately get to rip off Gardaland. Buckle up guys, this is happening. So thank you so much for coming along, thank you so much for your support during the downtime, it really does mean the world to me, and thank you for coming back, because I know that other creators are doing some awesome stuff and it's tempted to get distracted by the shiny stuff, so thank you. So welcome to Grosvenor Gardens. This is the new series, we're doing it, this is happening. So yes, adventure theme, this is what we've got going on. This is the adventure area so far. As you already know from the series, the first sort of updates are all a little bit patchy, there's lots of stuff to do, and the first episode is even worse because there's nothing exciting to see around this area other than just my thought process where I've just mind dumped into the game. But let's have a look at what we've got so far. So I've done the turnstile area, which you've seen here. I'm also planning out the toilets. It wouldn't be a Chateau Park without the toilets. So yes, welcome back to the toilets. And then of course we've got our ticket area here. So you would have seen a lot of the design inspiration that I've had already taken from the adventure area that I did in Chatrolandia, so a lot of that is being brought into here because I loved designing that entire area around the rapids. So you'll see that there's this, but as I said, we're now legitimately able to rip off Gardaland, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So we've got the ticket area in the front here. All of the usual stuff that you would expect to find, so all of the screens and stuff. I've managed to find these glowing numbers on the workshop. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it is that has published them, but they are absolutely awesome. At night, they glow and everything, so rather than putting the numbers on the screens that I have done in previous parks, I've actually got the glowing numbers, so they're now red and green based on whether it's open or closed, so they are awesome. Starting to get a feel for how the pathing is going to look. Now, you'll notice that I've not put any pathing down. And that's because I want to get the scale correct before I start thinking about putting the pathing down. So I'm doing all of the buildings, I'm doing some of the decor, and later on in this episode I'm then going to start putting all of the pathing and stuff down and getting the guests in and making sure that the flow is correct. So that's why there's nothing here at the moment. But yeah, back to the ticket offices. So inside here, it needs a final TMTK pass, as you already know how this works, right? But this is inside the office, so we've got all of the desks along here. I've decided to go for big and wide ticket windows this time as opposed to narrow. So typically I would do these half size, so you would have a split down here and you'd have a window this side, a window this side. So every 4 meters I would have 2 windows. I've actually decided to space it out. The Chatrolandia ticket offices felt really small and really compact, and they felt like they were a little bit too cramped, so I'm actually spreading these out for this one. I can't remember what the Reigate Lake ones were. I think that was 1 per 4 as well. So I've done it before. But yeah, so you've got all of the computers, all of the desks and stuff all in here. I love the fact that we can put all of the posters and stuff on the windows. It just makes it look awesome. Oh look, yes, the cameras are back. Look, that's a wall. That's a wall. My really bad cameras are back. And then on the back here we've got massive screens. These would be showing promo videos for the park, rides and attractions and all of the promos, like annual passes and stuff. And then welcome Grosvenor Gardens, it's here. So it's just starting to get a feel for a little bit of a logo, but not too much going on in here. And then out the back this way, I'm going to start putting down food units or food and drink in the front here. So I need to detail and kit that out. And then this is going to be like a stock room for the food units. Out the back here, I'm going to have some warehouse space, just like I did in Chatrolandia actually. It works perfectly at the front of the park because you have an area that you can put all of your stuff in, right? And then we come over to the toilets. So yes, hello Archer. Everyone uses an Archer for scale. So toilets, of course, they're Chacho toilets, and of course they're going to be kitted out as you would fully expect them to be. Now, of course, there's no ceiling and stuff on. There's no roof in here yet because I'm just starting to plan out the decor and being all adventure-y and stuff in here. And yes, inside the cubicles we do have actual toilets, but we don't have toilet roll holders. I can't seem to find any on the workshop either. So if you do know of any, please let me know in the comments below so I can put them in. But yeah, no toilet roll, so that's your problem. And then of course you've got mirrors and sinks and the hand dryers, so I just need to do final detailing and stuff in here, you know, all of that final kit out that we like to do when we're doing the final passes. And then of course male and female. I've not intentionally done pink and blue. I don't know if I've even I have lined it up. Well, I've subconsciously done that, guys. I've not actually actively made a decision to do pink and blue. But I've chose pink and blue because it's the Chacho colours. But hey, that actually worked out. So Darren Brown would be proud. So yeah, they are the toilets, and of course they're going to be functional. They always are in game. And then we come to the turnstiles. So I've got some plans and some stuff I want to do here. This is just my thought process at the moment. Of course, final details and stuff. I want to do similar to Gardaland actually, where they have some kind of a show at the beginning and they have confetti and stuff. I'll probably make these do something, but I just wanted simple turnstiles. I didn't want to go down the grandeur of Chacholandia or of Reigate Lake. I just wanted simple turnstiles. Here's a row of 6, here's a row of 6, here's a row of 6, and here's a row of 6. So I've used the usual algorithm of how many people you need to get through your turnstiles per hour to get them through into the park quickly so you can avoid queues, and that for this park turns out to be 24. And then you've got the wheelchair access in the middle here, just to allow your disabled guests to come through. And then I've also put this little like office in here. This is something that I didn't include in any of the others, but Gardaland has this, and it's just like a security office. It's, you know, if somebody needs help or somebody needs any more information, or if you need your hand stamped to go out into the car park and stuff, there's this little office in the middle. So I just wanted to include that. And then I'm starting the process here for decor, so I'm starting to give a bit of a rustic wooden feel to some of the stuff. I wanted to break up the stone walls. I mean, the Planet Coaster Adventure stuff is awesome, but I wanted to break up the stone walls so it's not so repetitive and it actually has a bit of a style going on. Now, you'll notice there's a massive gap here. There's a reason for that, but I'm not going to tell you why. And of course, we're going to have guest services, gift shop, food unit, and then further inside the park, toilets going on. So they are my initial early thoughts. This is how the Grosvenor Gardens entrance is starting to look. I quite like how it's feeling, so I reckon I'm going to carry on, and I will see you in the next update. Alright, so I've got lots to show you in this one. The march towards the completed entrance area is very much on. So you can see that we've got some buildings in the background here. We've got some stuff going on over here. We've got a secret over here. And we've got some tarmac. So there you go, episode done. So no, seriously. I'm just starting to get a feel for how I want the entrance area. I wanted to put the planters and stuff down in this kind of configuration because it was the whole snaky thing, you know, the adventure stuff. I'm not sold on them. I don't know if I like them, but let's just see how it goes, right? And I've put the temple floor down, so I'm starting to get a feel for the tiling and stuff that's going on the floor. And as you can see, it's already like, it feels all right. If you look at this kind of view, it feels all right. So yeah, let's have a look at the new stuff then. So starting with the boring stuff, we've got a warehouse. I've just pulled together a warehouse. Nothing inside it really at the moment, just a warehouse. I'm going to kit that out later on. That's not what we're here for. That's not the fun stuff. So yeah, I've put in some kind of a feature. Hello, Gardaland. Do you want your fountain back? So I've got the Grosvenor Gardens feature that's going on here. I definitely wanted a water feature. I've also put it out to a poll at the moment as well, so that's running whilst I'm recording this bit, as to whether we also copy Gardaland and have the fountain above the ticket booth as well. It looks like we're going to. It looks like it's positive. But yeah, I wanted to just bring in the Grosvenor Garden fountain, and I actually never used the Western rocks. You know, the desert rocks. I quite like them. They're actually quite tactile. They're quite versatile, so it gives you something different. But this is going to essentially be a planter, and of course this is going to end down this way into this space. I'm not going to tell you what this is, other than it's not a hotel. See if you can guess what's going to be here. Comments below, please. Yeah, so like I say, I've got the snaky stuff. Let's just see how it goes. it's going to be done by the episode. So inside the toilets with my bad camera angles, I have done the ceilings and stuff. So we're going for this kind of effect on the ceiling, and this is a theme that's going to be throughout. You've just walked through a wall, you creepy person. So anyway, whatever. So in here's done. So now that in here is done, what I've then gone on to do is copy the toilets across. So we've got one either side of the turnstiles. Nothing really major changed with the actual entrance area. Just need to do some touching up and final touches on along here and stuff. I think all of this was in place. I've just put a couple of extra flags and stuff up, but I think that's it. But this is what we're here for, right? This is the big change. You can see we've now got 3 brand new buildings in differing states of dress, so that I can show you my thought process. We're going to start over here in Satan's Chicken. So it's a chicken's place. Tiki, right? It's Tiki Chicken. But I'm going for this idea of the canopies and the cloth and everything all up on the roof and the beams and stuff. So this is going to eventually be attached to the ceiling itself. So we're coming into like this whole adventure thing. I'm using the adventure stuff as much as possible. Now the adventure pack contents are massive, right? So we're limited to what we can do with what we've got, but I think I've done an alright job. I don't want these buildings to be super tall or super detailed. I just want them to be quite like nice and simple. I've used the netting on here to create some kind of partition. I had this idea for a while and I've never really been able to put it into place. So of course I need to put the barriers and stuff in to stop them from walking through. But these will eventually be raised up seating areas, and then you've just got some partitions down this side where you've got the actual picnic benches and stuff that are going on in here. And then as you walk through, it opens out into a bit more of a wider seating area where there's going to be a little less detail, other than a few stuff that you've got here, you know, like the snake coming out of the coming off the branch here, and then over this way we've got a little bit of a feature. I think I'm going to put water in here, not sure. I need to do an FX pass anyway, so I think this is going to have water in it. And then over here, I've just started to put some of the other stuff along here. Buried him into the ground so he's sticking out. Something for the kids to climb on, something for the kids to play with and stuff. So that's what we're going for. And then in here, we've got a kitchen. And this is, I think, the first kitchen I've done. So welcome to a new age. This is happening. This is done as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to do too much to it. It is what it is. It's just a kitchen. It's not functional. And we're going to need to save the detailing and stuff for elsewhere in the park, so it's just representative. But I wanted an open kitchen, and I wanted to reuse the partitions, with the idea being that they may slide the food and stuff onto the side here, and this is where you pick it up from, and then you've just got your drinks and stuff along the side. Of course, it's going to have a fine detail pass in this area, the theme makers toolkit and whatnot. This is just like one of the thought processes that I have, because then we're going to come over to the guest services building, which is medium done. So here is the guest services. This is where you go in to do things like your hotel reservations, your annual passes, and all of that sort of stuff. So I have got a consistent theme on the front of the building going along here, and you can see that this runs right along into the gift shop as well. So I wanted it to have a consistent look and feel, and this is very much Gardaland. This is exactly what they do. And then inside here, it's a similar kind of setup to how I've done Satan's Chicken, and it's just decorated inside, so it's got a little bit of adventure. But when I looked at the most recent iterations of guest buildings that Merlin, for example, have, they're really bland and boring, you know. They're just rooms. They're just rooms with computers in. There's no real anything going on. So I'm kind of going for that vibe here, of course, because we're trying to copy Gardaland. So Gardaland is slightly different. They don't have an actual dedicated guest building. It's the castle by the main entrance, but you get the idea. So here you've got your services, here you've got your box office, and away you go. Cluttered it out with just all of the normal stuff that you'd find, but I need to do a final TMTK pass in here just to make it come to life, make it pop to life a little bit. But this is pretty much done. It's pretty much how I want it. It's your strollers, your wheelchairs, some promo stuff, and I'm reusing this technique. I did this in Chatrolandia, and I love using the lava as walls, and in fact you guys did as well. It's just something that you don't really think of doing because you expect it to be real life, right? You expect it to be hot and stuff, but it's not. It's just an effect. So I quite like it on the wall. It's like a nice little effect. Then we come to, I think, what might be at the moment, my favourite building that I think I've possibly ever done. It's the gift shop. It's got an interesting shape to it. Like, it's got the corner cut off here, and that's going to become apparent as to why in the future. But I've got the corner cut off here with the overhang. It's just got a slightly different architecture. I noticed that I use a lot of boxes, and in fact this is very much the case now, right? So Clang, this has just probably ruined your viewing experience. Sorry to spoil the illusion, but I use a lot of box buildings, and I'm starting to sort of get a bit of a feel for a bit more interesting architecture. So that's what I'm trying here. I'm not going to be perfect straight off, right? But it's worth a go. So we've got an overhang here, we've got an overhang here, and that actually creates a bit of a different sight line. But inside, this is where I'm actually starting to now really play with some ideas and play with decoration and play with the idea of theming a shop rather than just having a shop of stuff. Now, you'll know that I use the gift shop stuff in every park I do. I have a pack that I built as part of Fundy Fun Spot, and I use that in every one. So, like, you would have seen all of this setup before, but you wouldn't have seen the way that I've done the shop before, because it's sort of new. It's this idea of an actual theme. Guys, you're walking through the... Just stop it. And then I wanted a central thing in the middle here. Still stuff... Dude, you've just done it as well. Guys, seriously, stop walking through stuff. So I wanted this central feature where you walk in and you have this continuation of the Egyptian Mayan theme that we've got going on. So that's what I'm doing here. It's just something just to break up the monotony of shelves and stuff, but you can still kit around plushies and toys and easy to pick up stuff all along here. So that's what I've done. And then over here, kitted out the walls with just the wood, and then carried on with the decoration, that theme of the decoration with the spotlights and stuff. Fairly modern, actually. It's got a fairly modern feel to it, but I like it. It's good. It's good. So yeah, Thememaker's Toolkit Pass needed in here as well. I need to just do some final details and stuff to bring it all to life. But this is how it's looking from the outside. And I just like how this is sitting. It's going to look good when I bring the flooring and everything through and finish the foliage and stuff in here. It's gonna finish off this area, I think, just quite nicely. And I definitely wanted the idea of having the animatronics and stuff along here. I mean, it's no point building your own if the ones in game are good enough, right? So that's what I'm doing. And so this is how it's going to look from the top so far. There's going to be a couple of surprises in this series, by the way. There's some things that perhaps you may not have thought I'm going to do. So you'll see what's going to happen, like here, for example, and further on in future episodes. But we need to finish this one first. So this is the final update. All right then, you guys. Welcome to Grosvenor Gardens. We've got ourselves a completed entrance. And you can probably tell which way the vote on the waterfall went. Yeah, we added it. And it looks awesome. It's so good. I'm really chuffed with how this has turned out, actually. It's feeling a little bit like a studios park, if I'm being honest. So this is it from the top. This is how the entrance area is currently looking, and this is where we're going to be leaving it in this episode. So we're going to be doing a full tour of this right now. So yeah, I've got a little bit of work left to do on this back area here, and that's because I've got some sightline work to do, and I need to know what's coming in these areas before I can finish this bit on the top here. So obviously I've done this side on the gift shop, but I haven't done this side, and that's for reasons that I've already told you. I've got some big plans for this park, and I need to know what's coming here, so watch this space. But here we are at the entrance. So I've done lots and lots of work, and I'm so pleased with how this has turned out. It feels like Gardaland, but it feels different enough to Gardaland. It feels like it's now taking its own identity. So yeah, we've got the waterfalls. I have done as much of the realism on it as I possibly can. So there are pipes. I don't know if you can see them on the YouTube video. There's pipes along here. There's vents and stuff along here. And this is essentially a pull. So just to make you aware, the way that the Gardaland one works is it's a raised pull. And all of the water comes down into a pool. It filters underneath the rockwork, and then it's recycled back around, and it's just a loop of water. And then there's an access point at the back here, and this is like a pump room, a plant room. So inside here would be lots of machinery and the pump work and whatever. Now I can't do that in this in-game because the rockwork's so big. They are 4 rocks, so this isn't a room, and I'm sorry, I just cancel me for it. I don't mind. So, yeah. So, but what I've done is I've started to represent the pipework and stuff on the outside, so you can see that it is actually supposed to be something that's working. Then, of course, I've done all of the work here. So this is a bit of a maintenance area. I need to play out this bit, which is going to be the next episode at the back here. There's going to be our first rides and stuff added in here. So this area will eventually come to life and come to change. This is why it's not quite finished along here. I need to see where rides and stuff are going to sit before I can do access points and fences and whatever. So I'm just putting this in just to represent it for now. And then the ticket offices, they are now all completely done. So look at the view that you get from down here. It's awesome. Look. Oh, yes. It's exactly as I thought it was going to look. I love it. And then we're going to come inside the ticket offices. Nothing much has changed in here. I've just done a little bit of detailing, a little bit of stuff. Now, I've chosen to use... I think I use the squares, you know, the stuff I use on the walls here. And then I use fluorescent lights because the ceiling lights that I used in all of the other parks, they're like tiny 1x1 squares. And when you have a room this size, you end up with thousands and thousands of squares, and it just bogs down the piece count. So I've gone for something more simple in here. And actually, do you know what? It looks all right. You wouldn't see exposed wires and stuff, by the way, on this one. They would be hidden up in the ceiling void, so you would just see the tops of the fluorescent lights. So it looks all right. It's fine. I mean, it's a trade-off, isn't it, for the piece count? We've learnt our lessons by now. We're 5th park in, so we're starting to know what we can and can't trade off and where we should and shouldn't. Likewise with the warehouses, they're not kitted out inside yet. For the same reason, we need to conserve piece count and see what we've got. And I know we're only in episode 1 and we're already talking about piece count and conservation, but yeah, there are people out there that can't load parks that we create. So I'm trying to be as mindful as I possibly can. And so in here, I've just put some sunshades. So this is feeling like this is going to be a park in a warmer climate. You know, we are dealing with something like Italy, maybe. So I've just decided to put some sunshades. And I've actually made them a little bit different. I wanted them to have like a swoop to them. I might do some tidying up. I'm not too convinced about these pokey outy bits. I think it would be probably cleaner. But for now, I'm sort of like happy with it. And the snakes stayed. They look all right, especially when you put the sunshades in. They actually complete an area. I don't know what was really bothering me about it, but yeah, it's fine. Foliage-wise then, so I'm all over the place. I didn't really plan out how I was going to show you. But foliage-wise, I've put lots of overgrowth, so it's trying to hide as much of backstage as I possibly can. Ignore the fact that this bit at the front here isn't done or anything, because these are just placeholders. But you can start to get a feel for what I'm trying to achieve here in terms of foliage and hiding. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is because it's the same over here as well with the Grosvenor Gardens sign. I'm starting to use the foliage to almost envelop you in. Now, as I said, the sightline here is going to be rapidly different or massively different when I do the project here. And just as a heads up, this is not going to be for some episodes. It's going to be quite a few episodes before I finish off this site here. So that's why I've actually put the fence up and, you know, I've not left it blank. It's because it's going to be like that for a while. And then we're going to come and walk through the turnstiles. So the turnstiles are all completely done. All finished. I like how this is. I didn't do any show or anything on the top yet. I still need to do like an event pass in this series. You'll see in future episodes what I mean by that. I want to do different stuff for this park, stuff that I've not necessarily done before, and so I'm holding off for the time being. And as I said, you will see why. See if you can guess in the comments below. So then we come into the main plaza area. I've just put some flowers and stuff. I wanted to have some colour in here, but not too much colour. I've chosen red and white because they're fairly neutral to the palette that I've already got here. It's this yellow palette, the sandstone palette, so the red and the white is offset quite nicely, and then just every now and again you get some green. And this is where it starts to feel like a studios park. We're not doing a studios park, and this theme, by the way, is not going to be throughout the entire park. This is going to be like Gardaland, where this theme is the overarching central theme that threads through everything. But there will be individual themed areas like Gardaland had. I don't know what those themed areas will be yet, but this is not going to be adventure through the entire park. So I'm just going to set your expectation there right away. Guest services building, a little bit of touching up done in here. Just some like tidying up of the ceiling and stuff. And then of course I've put the adverts and the videos, and you can hear some music. So I've made sure that we've got some music. I think I use the same one in Gardaland actually. It's the Copson Coasters, I think it is, from the Studios pack. I just love it. It just feels like it's park music, so it just makes sense. Then I've just done some detailing along here. I've got parking tickets, exit signs, all of that sort of stuff. And then I've just carried on this sunshade through the middle. It feels like that would be like a spine. So if you look from the top, it comes through here and then through this way. So it just feels like it's a bit of a spine pathway. And then Satan's chicken. I called it Satan's chicken, by the way, because it's spicy chicken. And again, for reasons that you're going to see later on in future episodes, there's going to be a bit of a theme with this Satan thing going on. So I've got a plan for a big attraction that you might like. So coming inside here, we have finished it off. So lots of detailing stuff going on in here. Lots of Thememaker's Toolkit items, some seats and stuff that are all along these benches. They weren't in here before. And then we're going to come around this way. And I actually decided to keep this fairly open. Yes, I did put the water feature in at the back here. And actually, it looks all right. I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out. I wanted to keep this area more open because, as you can see, it's actually not as crowded. So if you look behind here, it's quite crowded. And then in here, I didn't want it to be so crowded. So that's why this is feeling a bit more empty. But what I have done is just put some clutter and stuff along the sides here, so it feels a bit busier, it feels a bit more loved or unloved, as it's a little bit messy. So yeah, it's done for now. I've got some work to do on the front area here for reasons that I've already alluded to, that this is not completed in this episode, and like I said, the top still needs some work. I mean, the sightline isn't too bad as it is, right? The sightline here is alright, but it's not as good as the gift shop that we've got on the other side. I mean, this is looking really nice now that the sightline is finished. Let me just get my camera right. Now that the sightline is finished, this is looking really, really nice. I'm pleased with how this one has turned out. And inside, sorry, I'm just going to sort my camera. No, there we go. See, 5 parks in, I'm still no good at my camera work. So inside here, nothing has changed really. Again, it's just the tidying up piece that I've done. A bit more detailing, a bit more fine details. Probably some more to come. Actually, I need to do some downloading of new stuff on the Thememaker's Toolkit workshop. So I've got some things that I've got my eye on that I think I want to put in here. But for now, I'm happy with how this has turned out. So yes. And now let's just come back out to the top. Oh look, there's Grosvenor Gardens. By the way, I am going to call this Garuda Gardens at some point in the episode. I know it's going to happen. If you're familiar with my work, I've got a scenario that I loaded into the workshop called Garuda Gardens. And I just know I'm going to get confused. But anyway, this is the entrance from the top here. So this is Grosvenor Gardens episode number 1. Tickets and stuff absolutely done. So please let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like, of course. That all helps to build an audience for us and find new people. I can't wait for the future episodes. Next episode, we're going to be focusing on this back area here. We're going to get some of our first rides in. And I think if I've got the time, there's going to be, I'm going to say a surprise, but I don't want to over egg it, but there's going to be a surprise. So guys, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. Really do appreciate you hanging out with me. Really do appreciate you coming back, as I said at the beginning of the video. I hope you look after yourselves. Until we speak again, take care. Bye-bye.